Hi, welcome to Being Mindful. I'm Susan, and I'm a licensed mental health counselor who enjoys sharing mindfulness with as many people as I can. This is one way for me to do that. In today's meditation, I'm doing a strategy that you can use in meditation to help with thoughts. So, a lot of times we want thoughts to just go away when we're meditating. We don't want them to interfere with this sense of focus that we have. And I've said many times in my meditations that thoughts are just an opportunity to practice. So when you're focusing on some particular aspect of your experience and a thought comes, it's just an opportunity to notice that it's happened and bring your focus back. But in today's meditation, we're playing around with a metaphor for helping thoughts move along. And so today's meditation is called Clouds in the Sky. And at the end, I will also share with you, if you haven't tried it, a similar meditation called Leaves on a Stream. So this is a similar idea, but with the idea of clouds, which gives us even a little more distance from the thoughts because they're kind of out there. So let's get started. Here we are, taking this time to meditate, and thoughts tend to swirl, and that can feel like an interference when we're trying to meditate. But we can use visualizations to help us stay in the moment and find something to do with those thoughts. So we've done Leaves on a Stream before. Why don't we try this time using clouds in the sky? You may or may not be in a place where clouds are visible or obvious, but I'll invite you. I think it's helpful to close your eyes, especially when you're visualizing, but if that's not a comfortable thing for you, you can certainly lightly gaze at something in front of you. Before we start getting into visualizing anything, let's get into wiggle our way, stretch our way, move our way into a meditation posture. Imagining a string pulling the entire body upright, a nice long neck, but not overly rigid. As those thoughts swirl, we can know that we are sitting, that we are meditating, that we are taking a little bit of time out of a busy day to be present. And where sometimes our focus is on some aspect of what we can sense, and when we're doing that, when we're focusing on the breath or focusing on sounds, we allow thoughts to come and go, but they're in the background while we focus on some sensory experience. And today, what we're doing is allowing the thoughts to be in the foreground, to invite thoughts. And we're going to work with them and practice that skill of allowing thoughts to come and go. So I'll invite you to picture in your mind's eye a sky, this expanse of atmosphere above your head. It can be a blue sky. It can be a stormy sky. But in this sky that you're imagining, there are clouds. And for this practice, we need those clouds to move. We need them to float across the sky. And you can decide whether you want them to float from left to right or right to left. You can imagine whether they are white, fluffy clouds or dark storm clouds. But really get a good image of the movement of clouds across this imaginary sky. And perhaps without even inviting thoughts, thoughts have been coming. And that is great, because what we're going to do is when a thought comes, we're going to place it on one of these clouds. And then that cloud moves through the sky. We take each thought as it comes and maybe note just in one word what's going on with that thought. Planning, worrying, judging. And placing each thought on its own cloud. These clouds aren't necessarily rushing by, but floating across our awareness. We can also try imagining that the thoughts are already on the clouds as they come into our awareness. They approach from one side, come into our awareness, and then move on. And we're just watching the thoughts without doing anything with them. And if you find somehow that you have climbed up on a cloud with the thought and are feeling carried away, You can just come right back down to the ground, steady on your feet, and allow those thoughts to drift with that little bit of distance between you and those clouds. And just allowing yourself to play with whatever feels right for what to do with thoughts that come, and whether you want to just observe them or physically place them on a cloud, or maybe something else that's just right for you. Allowing the openness of the sky to create a sense of expansion and possibility. There's no fixed way the clouds need to move. Perhaps imagining the warmth of the sun, the movement of a breeze or wind, imagining the sense of the ground beneath your feet, or maybe you're even sitting on the ground. And coming back to this present moment, also sensing the ground beneath you. And not just sensing it, but feeling it with your body. Taking a moment to explore the body, feel the breath. Notice what's happening as a response to this visual mind's eye activity. And as we approach the end of this meditation time, we can wiggle our fingers and toes, stretch, become present to the space we occupy, and take a few silent moments. If your eyes have been closed, you can open them. and take a few moments. So in this time, post meditation, I would love to hear what you experienced, what you noticed, what you visualized in that meditation. I say sometimes that when I'm meditating with a group, I think the time after the meditation is such a beautiful experience because people take a little bit of time to consider what they noticed, what they felt like, and share that with the group. And that just makes it richer for everyone. So you have an opportunity to do that by leaving a comment. So I hope that you will share what you noticed. If there was a challenge for you, that's fine too. It doesn't have to be all positive. And this will allow those of us who are watching the videos after they're recorded to participate in that reflection activity. So give that a try. So I'm going to link for you a couple of things that might be helpful to you. One is I want to leave you with a link to Leaves on a Stream, which is a similar metaphor, but different, and also a playlist that might be helpful to you. If you're not already subscribed, I hope that you'll do that and become part of the community. It's great to see return visitors, and a thumbs up is always a great compliment. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.